I was squatting at the corner eating instant noodles. Then I saw my bedridden wife arm in arm with a man walking into a 5-star hotel. Only then did I realize her tears and talk of late-stage cancer were just a ploy to find an ATM and get a loyal guy to pick up the tab. I chuckled to myself, dropped the act, and decided to lay my cards on the table. I called my dad, who happens to be one of the richest guys in the city, and said, "Dad, I struck out in my quest for true love. Guess I'll just head back home to take over the family business." Across the street, a couple got out of a cab, and the guy wrapped the woman in his coat. I was just about to get up when I heard the most unexpected voice. "Edward, don't worry. I'll make sure you're pleased today." I darted behind a tree, and sure enough, the woman with chestnut curls wasn't just any woman. It was my wife, Judy, who was supposedly bedridden at home. Her hair was even dyed the color she asked for, claiming she didn't want to see gray hairs. They started kissing right there at the hotel entrance. Anger soared within me. We'd been married for 2 years, and for her so-called self-esteem, I even slept in the next room. Her dad and I once had an intimate chat over drinks. He brought up getting pregnant, and I confidently promised that I'd take care of her even if we didn't have kids. I clenched my phone, struggling with whether to smash it, hoping this was just a misunderstanding. Like maybe it was someone who simply looked like her. That same day, Judy had told me she was visiting a friend. So, acting concerned, I sent her a message. She replied almost instantly. "Don't worry, Judy just fell asleep. No cramps today. I assure you I'll get her back to you safe and sound by tomorrow." In the photo, Judy looked as gentle and kind-hearted as I remembered her. Not convinced, I slipped a small bribe to a hotel staff member. The guy, smoking and grinning, told me they were in room 409. Taking a deep breath, I stormed up there with some tools. As expected, they were having a good time. "Edward, don't leave marks. My husband said he'll give me a leg massage tomorrow," she joked. "Why worry? Just tell him you scratched yourself like before." "Ha! Wait till next time he's on a business trip. He's usually away for several days. Then, I'll show Edward some real tricks." It was plain as day. This hadn't just started. It had been going on for months. By 3 in the morning, they finally emerged, and Judy got into a cab. Edward planned to get some smokes before heading back to sleep. I strolled into the alley and whacked him with an iron bar from behind, later landing a blow to the front amidst his ear-piercing screams. Rendered useless, I gagged him with a kitchen cloth I picked up earlier. As he begged for mercy, I responded in a gruff voice, "You bought my stuff and didn't pay, but you sure enjoyed messing around with women." Unsatisfied, I stripped him, doused him with some instant noodle broth I found near a trash can, and scoffed, "Scram." Squinting, I watched him scurry away without looking back. Now to head home and deal with the other issue at hand. Back there, Judy's too smooth to be new to such acts. I started rummaging through everything and finally found a stash of seedy outfits. In a small box, a dozen already used items were kept, each dated like some kind of diary with different encounters marked. Muting the urge to vomit, I dumped everything out. At the bottom was a stack of documents. The listed illnesses matched Judy's supposed diagnosis, but neither the name nor age lined up. The proofs she had shown me were fabricated. I dumped the bedside cabinet's pills out, revealing them to be sugar candies masquerading as medicine. Pretending to have cancer was just another ruse. With a loud crash, the bottle hit the floor, and words could not express the fury I felt. I had been a total fool, caught in her web of lies for so long. A bit after 7, I watched the two of them giggling as they exited a building. Judy was strolling faster than Lucy, hardly resembling an ill cancer patient. They discussed plans while grabbing breakfast. "Put extra powder and concealer on me later. Once he sees how pale I look, I'll tug at his heartstrings and, with a bit of momentum, he'll fork out money for my brother's house." She laughed. "Careful, you're pushing him too hard." She tossed some trash and wiped her mouth. "What's there to worry about? If he coughs up some cash, it's me doing him a favor. I'm about to marry into a rich family. Once he's out of money, I'll show him the door." Lucy asked, "Are you sure this time? Will Edward's family approve?" Starting to say something, Judy proudly patted her belly. Last time I miscarried a girl, but thanks to some old remedies from my mom, I'm sure it's a boy this time. If they have no grandson, what is there to discuss? A chill coursed through me. About half a year back, Lucy had mentioned feeling unwell and went to her parents for a while, and now I realized she'd secretly gotten an abortion. I stupidly wired her cash every day during that time. I called a buddy, registered an appointment, and asked him to fetch some medications from the hospital for me. With some downtime before the meds arrived, I made a call explaining what went down. Listening to my old man as he consoled me, I wryly remarked, "Cut it out, laugh it off all you want. But if I complain to Mom, you'll be stuck chasing her around on planes again. Head home now? What do you take me for, an idiot? Using me as a free ATM? I won't let this slide easily." I set my terms. She leaves with what she came with, and she repays everything I spent, penny for penny. Tit for tat, since she decided to go there first. I waited for them to arrive before knocking on the door. The tense murmuring inside made me chuckle. When the door creaked open, Judy was sitting in a wheelchair and let out a weak cough. "Sweetheart, you're here. I've missed you." I nodded slightly and opened the pill bottle under her gaze. "You left in a hurry yesterday and forgot your medicine." I thought of it halfway and went to get it before coming over. Judy froze mid-motion, her hand in place. "New medicine?" I poured out about a dozen pills into my hand, following her usual dosage. "Yep, hurry up and take them." Judy glanced at Lucy, and I subtly blocked her view, softening my expression. "Judy, don't throw a tantrum. How will you get better if you don't take your medicine?" Under my watchful eye, she reluctantly swallowed the pills in one go, then casually placed the medication leaflet in front of her. There, in glaring text, it warned pregnant women of potential fetal abnormalities. Her face turned a shade of green. Shakily, she said she needed to use the bathroom and sent me out to buy breakfast. The moment I left, she rushed into the bathroom to make herself throw up. I heard everything loud and clear from outside. Once everything was tidied up, I escorted her into a cab. As we drove along, Judy curled up in the corner, a bit strangely, startled by the unfamiliar scenery outside. She grabbed my hand, squeezing tightly. "Honey, where are we going? My legs are a bit sore today. Didn't you say you'd give me a leg massage?" I kept my tone even. "No rush. I booked an appointment for you with a specialist today to check things out." No matter how much Judy tried to sweet-talk me, I didn't budge. When we reached the doctor, Judy quickly handed over some fake documents, claiming she only needed regular chemotherapy based on previous checkups. The doctor skimmed through the past records and prescribed some 4 fluids. Seeing the lengthy English drug names, Judy got a bit scared. Will these drugs harm the body? I knew she really wanted to ask about the effects on the fetus, but clearly the doctor wasn't playing along. He furrowed his brows. "These are long-term treatment drugs. Didn't you know?" Seeing my suspicion growing, Judy fell silent, feigning a headache and leaning into me. In the infusion room, while I went to the restroom, she looked up the drug names online and realized they could severely affect the fetus. "Honey, I'm not feeling well today. Why don't we just go home to rest?" A nearby nurse interjected, "If you're not feeling well, you need treatment. Finish these IVs before heading home." The golden liquid started flowing in. Just as the nurse was about to insert the needle into Judy's arm, she screamed and swatted it away. This drug wasn't just harmful to the fetus. It had severe side effects on the mother. It's only used by genuine cancer patients who are willing to take the risks. Judy couldn't get over this mental hurdle. "You hurt me. I won't do it." Stifling a smirk, I held her hand down firmly on the infusion table. "Judy, be good. I'll take you home after this and massage your legs and make some soup. As long as we try, the illness will get better." The nurse continued coaxing. "Your husband is being very gentle with you. Let's try again." "No, no, no." The needle found its way into a vein. The nurse adjusted it for a steady flow. Judy couldn't break free of my grip. She slumped back, crying. "I can't. I'm pregnant." The nurse immediately withdrew the needle, her face angry. "Are you joking with your health? Pregnant women need special medical attention. Why didn't you mention it when the prescription was written? You're being reckless with both your child and yourself." Judy seemed at a loss, clutching my hand, trying to explain. Honey, don't be angry. I planned to surprise you. While you were asleep before, I did it secretly. I know I have cancer. I don't have long left. I don't want to leave you with regrets. I shook off her hand. We were never even together. You should know the limits of lying. Since you got sick, I sent all my paychecks to you and never let you lift a finger for household expenses. Why treat me like this? I angrily threw the items in my hand to the ground. Judy flinched, instinctively dodging. You even faked being sick? Judy, do you ever tell the truth? Judy straightened up, glaring at me. David, this is all on you. That guy's rich. What do you have to compare? Wanting to not live miserably isn't wrong. She clutched her stomach. Anyway, here's the truth. I'm pregnant by someone else, nearly 2 months now. If you won't help raise someone else's kid, let's divorce. I'm tired of struggling with you. I scoffed. Living poorly with me? You didn't say that when you asked for money to cover your family's mortgage. Did you? Fine, divorce it is. Pay back what you owe and all those years of fake medical expenses. Oh please, that's chump change. She then played the damsel in distress on the phone. Honey, I've been wronged. Come quick. Once her guy showed up, she leapt into his arms, looking smugly up at me. You'll never earn what he makes in a day, no matter how hard you try. I just made the best choice for myself. To prove his worth, the guy, after a little goading, pulled out his phone. Tell me the amount, I'll transfer it right now. I casually called out, 1,230,000. What? That's robbery. What can't pay up? Edward, clearly pissed, had to reluctantly type in his password. All right, have her at the city hall for the divorce in 3 days. Before leaving, I gave Judy a meaningful smile. Best wishes to both of you. After the whole ordeal, I was done with the house we'd lived in. Love stories are a joke. A sham. I contacted a real estate agent to sell the place. Every bit counts, after all. Mom stood outside, looking disdainful at the decorations inside. Living in a cramped place like this narrows a person's spirit. Leave all this, we'll get something new directly. After giving it some thought, I reluctantly fetched the notebooks I'd left in Judy's room. Day 3 of moving into the villa, I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a divorce as planned. Today, Judy showed up like a strutting hen with Edward by her side, looking all sweet as they got the divorce certificate. Once she got the certificate, Judy turned around and said flirtatiously, Honey, why wait? Let's get our certificate today too. Edward pulled back his hand with a face as dark as a burnt pot. Didn't we agree not to talk about this today? Judy squinted at me playfully. Come on, I dressed this nicely. Isn't that enough for you? But no matter what she said, Edward stood firm and didn't budge. Seeing this, I took out my phone and snapped a picture of them. Edward shouted, What are you doing? I chuckled, Just letting your soon-to-be second wife know what's up. Judy was shocked. Didn't you promise you were getting divorced? Why lie to me? She then angrily swung her platinum bag at Edward. I decided it was time to exit the scene and headed to my car. Judy ran out and saw me driving a Lamborghini. David, I didn't know you were this vain. Renting a car just to show off? I'm not staying with you. I shrugged. Still better than being someone's side piece. A week after I got home, my parents organized a little get-together to introduce me to their circle. Basically, they wanted everyone in the circle to know who the next heir of the group was. Inside the banquet hall, I wandered around with a glass. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Edward actively handing out business cards in the corner, mostly being ignored. But his pride didn't seem wounded. Next to him was Judy, and she clearly spotted me too. She came over. David, have some dignity. We're divorced, so stop haunting me. She's a bit full of herself. After that, she handed me her drink. Here, fetch me a new cocktail. I raised an eyebrow. Did you drink away your brain? When I didn't move, Judy got bolder. Do you know who's hosting this event? You're only fit to be a waiter here. Move along. Edward joined, putting an arm around Judy's waist. How does trash like you even get in? Just then, someone tapped my shoulder. The bank president, who's quite close to my dad, greeted me. ignoring the two of them. "You're really something. I hear your company is doing well. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need any support from our bank." I laughed, shaking hands. "Thanks, there's still plenty I need to learn." Edward's voice trembled as he pointed at me. "Sir, you know him?" The bank president looked confused. "You guys don't know? This is David, the only son of Mike, today's host." Edward knew he was screwed. I turned to him and said, "Oh, indeed. This is my ex-wife," pointing at Judy, who's frozen in shock. "And this here is her boyfriend," pointing at Edward, sweating bullets. After the event, when my assistant notified me my car was ready, I headed out. And there, still in her dress, was Judy standing at the door. Chilly weather made wearing a dress outside seem foolish. As soon as she saw me, Judy rushed over. "David, I was wrong. Please give me another chance." Without even looking at her, I kept walking. Judy jogged to catch my sleeve. "We had something real before. I was stupid. Could you please forgive me?" I finally stopped. "Forgive you? You've got some nerve. Where did your new hubby go? Leaving you all alone?" I felt some pity for her, but only a bit. At the banquet, after my true identity was revealed, Edward ditched Judy and left in a hurry. Edward's family had some money, but their business wasn't doing well, relying heavily on investments to stay afloat. He could fight with his wife over a fling but couldn't afford to anger my family. Judy thought she had bagged a wealthy bachelor, not understanding that the riches weren't meant for her to spend. When I got into my car, Judy knelt at my feet, eyes swollen like walnuts. Seeing she wouldn't let go, I took off my sunglasses. Thinking I was about to speak, Judy tried to stand, but I just casually moved her hand aside. "Didn't you say this car was rented? Be careful not to break it. I might make you pay for it." With a press of the pedal, I left her behind. 6 months ago, my company had already started doing well, making deals with international companies. I always set aside something for Judy's sake while she was still in my life. The office door knocked, and in walked Linda, the company manager. She's a smart graduate from a top school who disliked her family's rigid plans for her and joined my company instead. Thinking she was here for work, I waited. But instead, she slammed her palm on my desk, startling me. She smirked at my reaction. "You know, you're so decisive while working. Why are you so funny otherwise?" She pointed at the clock above the door. "It's already 6 in the afternoon. Aren't you going home to take care of your wife?" I shrugged helplessly. "No wife anymore. I'm officially a lone wolf." Her eyes widened. "Oh, she's gone?" I nodded. "Pretty much. You're talking spiritually, I'm talking literally." I put my hands behind my head. She went to find a new start. Apparently, I'm too straightforward for her. "You got dumped? I thought you were really into her." Seeing me cover my face, Linda leaned in close, and I was startled when I opened my eyes. What's there to be curious about? She didn't just leave. She told me she faked being sick to fool me. "So, you're single now?" "Yep. Want to consider me?" Her words shocked me so much I fell sideways from the chair, full of question marks. "Come on. I'm officially a divorce guy now. Your family's doing so well, and you're amazing. You could definitely find someone better than me." Linda didn't give me a chance to argue further. She sat on the couch, giving me a once-over. "From what I've seen, you've been stable and mature at work, respectful and polite to women, focused and attentive as a husband. All that fits what I look for in a partner. As for your divorce, that's not my main concern." She tilted her head. "Or are you so scared that a single bad experience makes you afraid to even try again?" I was taken down by Linda's words and silently accepted that we were now in the trying to date phase. Meanwhile, my assistant was getting endlessly harassed by Judy. She first ran to the marriage office to revoke our marriage certificate, and when that failed, she went to our old place and knocked like crazy. But she was out of luck. The new owner of the house was a tough lady. She thought Judy was some homewrecker and gave her a good beating. Judy ended up in the hospital, but her debts didn't stop. She was leeching off my bank account before, and her entire family basically lived off me. Going from luxury to frugality is tough. Within days, Judy's brother couldn't hold back and drove to S City to find her. Naturally, Judy didn't dare admit what she'd done and just mumbled that we fought. So, her brother John strutted into the company, thinking he was something. My assistant showed me the downstairs security footage. John walked in, eyeing the pretty receptionist and dropping hints that he had connections, suggesting a date. Then he claimed he was heading upstairs to see me, but the receptionist gently told him he needed an appointment to get in. Raised spoiled, John couldn't handle it and smashed decorations in a rage, yelling, "Do you know your CEO is my brother-in-law? I can get him to fire you in a snap." Acting like big shots in front of me, security acted fast, pinning him down until the cops came and took him away. My assistant looked at me. The lawyer predicts he might get a week in custody for causing trouble. I rubbed my chin, a sly look flashing on my face. A week sounds too short. Check back in his hometown. With a temper like that, he's bound to have enemies. Why not do them a favor? Just as my assistant was leaving, I called him back. Itemize the damage downstairs. There's no reason I should cover losses for things he went nuts on. When I got to the hospital, Judy was still in a regular room hooked to N4. Because she was pregnant, there were limited meds she could take, leaving her to bear most of the pain. Seeing me, she got emotional. "Honey, David, you came to see me? You're forgiving me?" I tutayed from the end of her bed. "Wrong name, miss. Edward's your new hubby. Remember? I passed over the bill. When you're better, wire the money to the account." Judy looked at the bill, her hand shaking. "What's this?" I gave her a smile. "For the damages your brother caused at my company. It's incredible how you both act. You cheat first, then send your brother to stir up trouble. Unbelievable." Judy clutched the sheets. "No, I didn't say that. I didn't send him." Just then, Linda found us, nudging me that it was time to go. Judy's emotions flared up. "Have you been talking bad about me behind my back? We were fine before. Why won't David forgive me now? You home-wrecking witch." People in the ward turned to look. Judy's big belly made her seem pitiful, and whispers started. How bold, looking so innocent yet having no shame. The guy's not much better, bringing a lover in while she's pregnant. I shielded Linda. "Judy, you brought this on yourself. You faked illness and fooled around behind my back. And it's not even a month since our divorce, and you're heavily pregnant? Why should I forgive you just because you're struggling now?" That set the room abuzz again. "Oh my gosh, she cheated while married? No wonder he's asking for money. I heard she sent her brother to stir up his company. The nerve of regretting while carrying another man's child. I'd lose it if she were my wife." I coolly watched Judy hold her ears in anguish. "One last note. Pay back what you owe me, or next time, it won't be me coming for you." I scoffed. "Wonder how your folks feel about you getting your brother locked up?" Outside the hospital, Linda's face was flushed, and I realized our hands were still linked. As I considered letting go, she tightened her grip, interlocking our fingers. For the first time, someone stood so firmly beside me. My face warmed as we sat in the car in silence. Eventually, we both leaned closer, and I got a taste of her rosy scent. After we became official, Linda often waits for me to commute together. Before, when Judy faked being sick, there were a lot of foods she couldn't eat, so I just followed along. It's been years since I properly sat down to eat at a restaurant. The elegant sound of a piano concerto flows through the restaurant. Linda is savoring her steak, and I take the moment, as she closes her eyes, to extend my hand and show her a necklace with a unique design hanging quietly in front of her. I thought about it for a long time and decided a formal approach was better. "Linda," I asked, "would you like to date me with marriage in mind?" Linda covered her face with her hands, her side face illuminated by blue light. She gazed out into the sky where hundreds of drones spelled out, "I love you." Shyly, she teased, "Why make it so dramatic?" I stood up, carefully clasping the necklace around her neck, bending down to emphasize, "I think even a strong woman wouldn't mind a little surprise now and then. Do you like it?" She nodded slightly and kissed me right when the fireworks went off, and the whole restaurant erupted into applause, celebrating us. After dinner, as I was getting ready to take Linda home, my phone buzzed. It was an agent from before. He said there was someone claiming to be my wife at their office, refusing to leave, and accusing them of illegally selling her house. He asked if I could come deal with it. I was about to refuse, frowning, but Linda grabbed the phone and said, "Okay, we'll be there soon." When we arrived at the agency, Judy was there with her previously well-maintained hair tied up. "Why did you sell my house? You owe me money," she shouted, rushing over with a thermal lunchbox when she saw me. "David, you're here. I knew you cared for me. I know I was wrong, and I'll never do it again. Look, I made stew for you as I used to when we were together. Please forgive me this once." She tried to grab my hand, but I stepped back, revealing Linda behind me. "You," Judy shrieked. "You ruined our relationship. You won't have a good end." Seeing the necklace on Linda's neck made her more agitated. "This should have been mine. If you hadn't come between us, it would be." She reached out to touch it, but Linda was quick, twisting Judy's reaching hand. "You just realized David is more than you imagined after you cheated. Now you're regretting it. Weren't you arrogant when you insisted on divorce? Now you're blaming others? You can't have it both ways. If you set yourself up for failure, it's your destiny." "Bullshit. I won't let you get away with this." Judy, completely losing it, rashly opened the lunchbox and threw its contents at Linda. Unable to dodge, I shielded Linda with my own arm, scalding hot soup splattering on me. Just then, the police, called by the agent, walked in and restrained her as she rambled incoherently. While getting my burns treated at the hospital, I called for someone. Her posture was poised as she sat on the sofa, cutting straight to the chase. "I'm Edward's wife. You know my situation, and I'm here to propose a collaboration." She laid it all out. "Edward built his fortune on me. I had 2 miscarriages due to business dealings and am left infertile for life. He's now using it against me. I won't let him off easily." Looking into her determined eyes, I pushed the check she handed me back. Before she could be too disappointed, I said, "I believe we have the same goal. No need for money to prove anything." She breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. "I've booked a ticket to study abroad to make up for past events." Before leaving, she glanced at Linda, who was asking the nurse some questions down the corridor. "She's a good girl, don't let her down." I promised I wouldn't. The next day, Edward visited. He brought enough gifts to fill the whole room. "Oh, what a misunderstanding. I didn't recognize a good man like you. Judy told me she didn't have a husband. That's why I got involved with her." I rolled my eyes internally but kept up the act. "The loan. Please help explain to the board. I meant no offense. So, why tell me to divorce her without marrying her? What's the deal?" Edward's gears turned. A smile plastered on his face. Yes, I wasn't thinking straight. I'll talk things over with Judy. She'll live comfortably with me. Don't worry." That night, I received a successful completion text. A week later, my assistant reported Edward's announcement of divorce with his original wife and his happy marriage to Judy. However, things didn't improve as they imagined. Edward's funds still hadn't turned over, and he came to me more desperate than before. "Bro, didn't you say once I married Judy you would help? I'm on the brink of bankruptcy, and even selling all assets wouldn't cover our debts." Then he cursed. "All this because of that awful woman. If she hadn't taken half in the divorce, I wouldn't be so wretched." I shrugged. I did mention it, but people say anyone who'd abandon their original partner can't be trusted. Plus, your business can't run without your ex's help. "But I did what you suggested." I chuckled. "I never said to divorce her. Judy's hardly suitable. Maybe it would have been smart to just support her financially. You'd have to be pretty foolish to marry her. Birds of a feather flock together. Seriously, you two deserve each other. Didn't you say your love was genuine? Let's see how long it lasts without the money." Edward funneled all his frustration into Judy. He only found out during the property settlement that Judy, who had been spending lavishly without savings, had turned to loan sharks. Her debt was over $3 million, with most of it being interest. Judy was getting abused daily and would call me every day, only to find my number was no longer in service. Even calling the police didn't help. Misunderstandings between the couple were excused by Edward, saying it was just Judy's pregnancy mood swings. On the day I proposed to Linda, my assistant informed me that Edward found a new source of funding. His parents had cut ties with him because he had no kids. Now that he was going back home crying that his new daughter-in-law was pregnant, his parents were ready to help settle his debts. I simply smiled and had my assistant send back the notebook I'd taken earlier to Edward's parents. Sure enough, they were furious and made it clear they wouldn't accept such a daughter-in-law, kicking both out. We were picking out wedding clothes at the bridal shop when we saw a defeated Edward and a limping Judy around the corner. Judy was crying, begging him to stand up, but Edward shoved her away, smashing the bottle down angrily. Damn it, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be doing so bad. No idea whose kid you're carrying. Go find one of those Edwards you were with. Judy, slapped and cut by the bottle, was breaking down emotionally. Is all this my fault? You had to divorce her because of your high opinion of yourself. Now it's my fault? Would I be pregnant if you didn't put it into my head? You dare laugh at me? Edward, like a madman, dragged her by the hair and slammed her to the ground, spitting when he thought she had enough. Some people just don't learn without a lesson. At that point, two men came down the stairs. They looked fierce, and I was surprised to see they were Judy's parents. They slapped Judy, who was on the ground. You're the one who got your brother into jail? You little brat. How dare you? Haven't sent money in days. What, think you're all grown now? I'm telling you, if you don't get your brother out, I'll beat you to death. I didn't watch anymore. Holding Linda's hand, we got into the car. I didn't even give them a glance in passing. I saw Judy again in the hospital. Linda and I had been honest with our parents, and they were so understanding about my past marriage. They easily gave their blessing for our wedding. When we threw the bouquet in Bali, that smile on Linda's face and the way I looked at her were captured perfectly in a photo. I printed that picture and put it on my desk at work. Amid the hectic days of merging the group and company, it's my comfort when I'm tired. Linda got pregnant 6 months later, making me super nervous, like she was a delicate thing I had to protect. At the 7-month checkup, I felt someone watching me. Turning around, I saw a frail Judy. She was dressed in warm pajamas even in the summer heat. I had no intention of catching up and started walking by. But Judy stopped us, her eyes fixed on Linda's belly. Instinctively, I shielded her. If in the past I had settled with you, would you have treated me as gently? No regrets in life, so no what-ifs. If you're done, you can go. I guided Linda away, hearing Judy shout from behind. I have cancer. It's late stage. I'm here just clinging to life. I didn't look back. She was just a stranger to me now. I heard her crying behind us, attracting attention from others, but I wasn't one of them. Linda teased me as I stayed quiet. Reminiscing? I smirked. Not at all. Just thinking of what name to give our kid. How about Sunny? She suggested, meaning a bright and smooth journey in life. Perfect.